Are you avoiding yourself? Be honest. Are you? The longer you avoid facing who you really are, the more life is going to cost you. And I know what you're thinking. How did I stumble across this video? How did I stumble across a man in a mask trying to tell me that I'm avoiding himself when he's avoiding himself with a mask? Well, good point. Oops. But avoidance is also silent. Avoidance doesn't scream at you. Avoidance doesn't ask if you're avoiding it yourself. It just slowly steals yourself from you. I can't tell you how many times I've told myself I was fine, but I knew I wasn't. I was avoiding things that I like to do. I was avoiding recording. I was avoiding lifting weights. I was avoiding going to the gym. I was avoiding spending time with people I love. I just sat there upset. I was avoiding doing things that made me happy. And it took me a while to realize that that weight that I was feeling, it wasn't from what was happening in the moment. It was from what I was refusing to face. It was from the things that I was refusing to do because I was feeling bad for myself. I was ignoring my emotions. Every time you ignore your emotions, they don't disappear. As much as you want them to disappear, they're not going to disappear. They just go somewhere else. And then they creep back up and say, "Hey, you remember me?" And you're like, "Yes." You can't distract yourself with work or with noise from TikTok or YouTube shorts or from people or from your habits. The truth always waits once those things stop distracting you and you're left wondering why you're sad. Because when you numb the pain of something, you don't just numb the pain, you numb everything. You numb the joy. And that stinks. It really stinks. You can't selectively avoid parts of yourself. You just avoid all of it. And you think that, okay, well, I'm feeling sad. I'll avoid everything just to stop feeling sad. And you think that protects you, and I don't think it does. I'm telling you from experience that it doesn't. It just keeps you from growing into who you actually are. You have to face the things that make you uncomfortable. That's what I had to do, and I'm not perfect. But I'm feeling more like myself. And the habits that used to make me feel safe are the ones that are keeping me small, that are keeping me not wanting to be myself. I realized I can't build a meaningful life on top of unresolved emotions. There's a there's a fire truck going on, if you heard that. But you build yourself up by the conversations that you're afraid to have. Either that's with others or with yourself. I'm afraid to have this conversation with myself. Because sometimes, obviously, I hide a lot about myself. And I know that if I'm just honest with myself through my tone of my voice and when I rewatch this back, I'll learn more about myself. And it took me a while to realize that I can't outrun what is inside of me, who I am. And I'll always find a way to catch up with me until I resolve it. Until I understand what's making me sad, think about it, sit with it, and then let it go. I have to fully understand what's making me sad first before I can let it go. Because there's a very, 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 very small difference between letting something go and hiding it to find later in life. Because facing yourself is scary because it means admitting the gap between who you are and who you thought you were and who you could be. And that's a big gap for some people. But that's also where transformation tends to start. In that uncomfortable honesty that you need to have with yourself. And the more that you avoid, the more life starts to feel like it's happening to you instead of happening through you. You start being more present instead of just observing. And the version of you that you're meant to be becomes in waiting on the other side of what you keep running from. And you can't heal what you won't look at. So address your issues. Because avoiding yourself feels safe until you realize that your life is passing you by. Facing yourself isn't easy. That's why it changes everything, because growth isn't easy. The real cost of failure isn't failure. It's thinking that failure is something to be scared about. So stop hiding from failure. Stop hiding from yourself. Don't be scared. Start looking for yourself. Because the life you're wanting right now only exists once you want it to. And I think that you can get it. And with that being said, I will catch you next time. See ya!